What's up, guys? It's Heat. I wanted to do a video today on racing, and I'm going to do some commentary on the racing strats in general, some of the top end, high end level strats, and I want to get into the mind of a gamer and kind of let you know how I think about the game, high level thinking on how to do good in races. And what I'm going to do, this was the last signature race of the season. And I got number 1 Shadow, which got me a demi, and then I got number 5 overall, which is pretty solid. This run, I think, was my best signature run of the season. Improvements could have been made, so we'll see what those could have been in the video. But yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and start it, and then I'm gonna start the commentary and chime in whenever I think it's necessary. So the first thing, before I actually play the video, I want to show you that before anything starts, actually, what I do is I already switch my default attack to movement, and then I switch this to default attack just because I think it's faster. I also move my wisdom scrolls in my inventory in a certain spot where I like to have them. So I like to have everything set before I start, so that's one thing that I do to make it go faster, to make sure everything goes smooth. Alright, so here we go. Right there, once you talk to that guy, you can click once off the screen to cancel his chat, and then you just attack. From here on out, I just the only thing I do is I run. I don't attack anything. Especially with the Shadow, you don't need to at all. The only thing I stop for are if there are chests, then I will open them, but only if they're on the way. Nothing special about Hillock right here. Just kill him, basically. One thing is, if you're muling, and what muling is I got really, one thing I got really lucky. I got 2 scepters, and I got yellow boots, which could have movement speed on them. When you talk to Tarlake, or whatever his name is, you want to look for movement speed, and you want to look for scepters, but since I already got scepters, I didn't pick them up here. What I was looking for was +1. I got a little overexcited there because I got movement speed on the boots. Movement speed is extremely important. It gives you a huge advantage if you can get it. That scepter right there was key in this run. It's already rolled magic, and it has 2 linked sockets that I need. You can either put tendrils and added cold, or you can put fire trap and flame blast in there. So that is an extremely strong link. Here, you don't actually need to attack anything. The strategy here is you tag this waypoint and you go back to do title. Title is really important because you want the quick silver, which flask, which increases your movement speed, and that's extremely important for racing. The faster you move, the better you will do. This is a fixed seed race, which means that the map is displayed, and the whole map is displayed, and it's the same for everyone. Here, you actually don't really need to attack anything until you get to Hellrake, but I wanted level 2 because my movement speed boots were level 2, so I wanted it a little bit earlier. And I think they have some life on it. Coral ring is really nice to have.
It's nice not being dead yet.
So here, when you fight Hellrake, it's good to have your dagger because your dagger will allow you to also do Viper Strike because the fire trap doesn't do a lot of damage on its own. So you can just kill him faster if you do Viper Strike and fire trap like I'm doing there. That's why I kept it. You want to pick up everything you can, especially blues. When you sell blues, they'll give you transmute shards, which if you get 20 of them, it'll give you a transmute. See right there, I got 6 back.
So,
nothing special there. You get tendrils. I shouldn't have worried about that. Wasted some time there. You don't kill much here. You just get the nests, the quest items that are required to get to proceed from this area. Because you already know where the hills are, this is easy. If you're doing a normal race where the map isn't displayed, one thing that you can do here that'll help you find the nests are these water pools right here connect to each other, connect to the nests. So if you look out for those water pools, it'll allow you to identify where the quest items are easier. I always try to keep a clean inventory. If there's something I don't need, I immediately just throw it off. I'll get rid of it. I always kill blues. Blues give you a lot of experience. They're really important. This shrine gives you added bonus, so you don't need to attack a lot. You can fire trap and then just kind of run away. That was a really nice pack. The blue pack. The Alk is really good. I was waiting to use it. Wasn't really sure what to use it on because I already have movement speed. Try to pick up all the wisdom scrolls you can because it'll allow you to buy upgrades like flasks and rings that you'll need. If there's only 3, I tend not to bother. Those are blue, so of course I'm gonna get them. One thing to note about goats is if you throw a fire trap and they leap on it, it'll kill your fire trap. At this point in the game, I noticed that I'm doing enough damage to where I can throw 1 fire trap and 1 click of my tendrils, and generally they will die. So it's important to be aware of how much damage you're doing so you don't waste attacks. I decided to skip over, augmentation is nice. I decided to skip over going back to town. Right there you can make a decision to go back to town to get a medium life flask, or you can go back to town and also get a Oh, sorry, I was trying to see what that was +1 to cold, so I didn't really need that. You can also use that opportunity, the waypoint at ledge, to go back and get Storm Call. But at this point, because I'm doing so well and I have movement speed, I didn't want to waste time to get Storm Call. You don't actually need it. It helps to fight Brutus, but you also have the option to face tank Brutus. What I did right there is because they can destroy your traps, the best way to approach them is to stand in their face so they don't leap. So when you stand in their face, it triggers just a normal attack, and they don't have an opportunity to kill your fire trap. So a lot of the times when I approach goats, I'll go up to them, lightning tendril, then fire trap, or fire trap, then lightning tendril. I skipped that pack because it was I felt it was a little bit too dangerous. I got some nice drops here. When a fire trap crits, I just move on. I don't throw anything else. If I can react to it, sometimes instinctively you just do your next attack. But other times you don't. You have enough time to react to a crit and not attack, because if you crit with a fire trap, you're just going to see right there. I chose just to use that because I thought they might leap to use tendrils. That's a really strong helm. The reason I'm not equipping it is because some of the archers here do lightning damage in this area, or in the next area they do lightning damage, so I don't need the fire resistance right now on that iron hat I have, on that rare I have. I always come here for the signature race because there's always a lot of enemies around this shrine. Shrines always contain a lot of enemies, so it's a good spot to get a lot of experience. At this point, I'm having a really good run, even without a second Quicksilver. I think I'm progressing really well, probably in the top 3, top 2 at the moment. I'm actually the first one to enter this area, so I'm doing extremely well right now, considering I don't have a second Quicksilver. If someone does have a second Quicksilver, they probably should have been beating me. I don't know. See, a lot of lightning damage here. Again, that's why I didn't change to the rare hat I had, because that has fire res, and the circlet that I'm wearing now has lightning res. I might have spent a little bit more time than I wanted there, but that's okay. Leveling up. So I'm the first character to hit 9 right now. I'm in first place. And I'm also the first one to enter the zone, so I'm doing pretty well. I'm getting great packs, blue packs, pack size. That helped.
An Exile.
I was killing fairly efficiently as well. That helm is alright because it gives you the option, it has dex on it, and it gives you the option to not go, so usually I go down the health pathway for dex, or you can get a Jade Amulet, but that helm right there will give you the option to not do that if you wear it, so that's why I wanted to look at it twice. Here, I wanted to bait him into those traps, but his splash killed them. I also equipped a chest piece to be a little bit to mitigate physical damage and some evasion. I think this is what that chest has, or something like that. Maybe ES, but it allows you to face tank him a little bit better. Those are a good set of fire traps. The reason I don't wear a chest piece is because it reduces your movement speed, I think by 5%, something like that, depending on how much armor. So most of the time I try to run without it. You have a huge advantage. You want to pick up all the blues you can there, because by this time, you should be able to get at least one transmute. I was not lucky to get one. Here you want to look out for a belt and a ring. The reason I was looking at fire is because I wanted to do a vendor recipe. I spent a little bit too much time there. Another mistake is I'm still wearing the chest piece. I threw it off right there. I noticed I was still wearing it. That's a nice pack. I decided to actually take it on. I decided I was wasting too much time even though there were blues. I didn't want to hit this box until I killed this this rare, because I had that buff and I didn't want everything to come out of the box with a buff. That's a really strong box. I might have gotten a little lucky that I didn't rip there. The sapphire rings are important for the Merville fight. When you have rare items, one thing to keep in mind is you always want to identify them before selling them, because you get alteration shards and when they're identified. So that helps in in capitalizing on a really strong recipe that will give you +1 to your weapon. So we'll see this recipe a little bit later. But you also see me sell all my rares in order to get those the alteration shards. So somebody just hit level 11 right now. I think I'm fairly close to level 11. So I think at this point I'm probably in the top 5 at least.
I'm usually the one making the ghosts.
I saved a chain belt because I thought I might use my alk on my chain belt in order to do another recipe with a whetstone. So at this point in time, I was just saving it, just in case I got a whetstone, because I didn't really need to alk boots. I have movement speed. I could get better movement speed. It's 10%. You can get 15%, I think. I don't know if you can get 20. I know you can get 15 for sure. This area is fairly dangerous just because things curse you with vulnerability, so I wanted to make sure it was a little bit more clear than before actually opening that. Usually I won't identify those, but because this area is dangerous, I wanted to see what it was. It also gives me 2 additional rare items, and that's really strong because I'll be able to get alterations from selling the rare items. I decided I already had enough rares for an alteration, so I didn't pick the other one up. I didn't want to waste the time to reorganize my inventory. That was a brain fart, wasting time. I don't know why I try to alch that. Obvious brain fart, you can't alch. It has to be white. One thing to know about Coves is that Coves has one giant pack right here. It's a giant blue pack, and it always there's always a blue pack in this one area, and always a rare with a bunch of mobs around it. You almost always want to go there and kill that pack because it provides so much experience. Now, usually you don't want to pick up health with with your class, but I feel that that part of the shadow tree, what I'm doing here is I'm selling all these for alterations. As you can see, I got 1 alteration and another 17 alt shards, which will give me almost another one. Here I sold the alteration with a fire res ring and that scepter in order to get +1 fire. And +1 fire is really strong. I wasted some time there, still wasting time. I'm not really sure what decision I was trying to make here. I noticed that I didn't have 2 sapphire rings for the Melver fight, so I sold something in order to get 2. One thing I'm going to note, I'm also I'm going to equip the sapphires because there's a lot of cold damage. These sea witches will do cold damage. One thing to note about the way I do the tree here is, I don't know if everyone goes the same direction I do on the tree. Most people tend to go strictly DPS, they go YOLO, but I feel the path that I take gives you a lot of utility. So what do I mean by that? Well, when you go down the health path, you get strength, and then you also get cast speed and dex. So what that does is it eliminates a layer of RNG that you don't have to worry about. Dex is very important to continue to level your fire trap. If you don't have any sort of dex, your fire trap will cap out and you won't be able to level it. So if you're really unlucky and you can't get a dex amulet or get dex on gear, then you're going to be hurting for a while, and it's going to hurt your run. Now, that doubles, so I feel that is actually really good because it gives you dex, it eliminates a layer of RNG, you won't have to worry about it dropping or wasting a transmute. You also have to waste a transmute on that. I'd rather waste a transmute on boots or on a weapon in order to be able to craft it later, or maybe get lucky and get +1 off the transmute. So it eliminates like 2 layers of RNG right there. And also you get DPS from it because it gives you cast speed, and cast speed helps with tendrils. The other thing, the +20 to strength is really nice if you want to go quartz scepters, because quartz scepters have an implicit 20% elemental damage, which is the strongest scepter you can probably use in a race. So if you're really unlucky and can't roll a +1 by through Act 2, then I would suggest using that. a bronze scepter, and that gives you an opportunity. The strength gives you an opportunity to actually do that. It also gives you health, and those 3 points also makes you a little bit more tankier. I feel that provides so much utility that it's worth it. You get, DPS utility through cast speed and possibly through quartz scepters if you need them. This fight's not too bad. The only thing I could have done differently is equipped a chest, because those weapons can hit you. And she can also hit you and do a lot of damage, so I could have had some defense right there. But it's not too bad. Stormcall, I skipped picking up Stormcall, but Stormcall helps in this fight. You'll notice that I use tendrils and then step away like that. Tendrils and then step away, because if you stand there too long, there's a proximity around her of where if you stand in that area too long, it'll trigger an attack that slows you down, slows your cast speed down and slows you down, does cold damage, and quite possibly it could rip you if you also get hit by the columns. So I'm sitting pretty strong with rares right now. My RNG was actually pretty good, and one reason I think that is I feel that rarity is undervalued in racing. Right now I have rarity on my boots and on my gloves, so that's going to help a lot with dropping rare items. Right now I have enough rare items to get another transmute, and what I'm going to try to do is I'm going to roll +1 lightning for my lightning tendrils. As soon as I get to town. I got some blue packs here. This is really strong to get blue packs. They're easy to kill. They give you a lot of experience. I don't know why the sound went out. I wasn't playing any music. Sorry about that. So Twitch thought that I was playing music for some reason and muted it. Level 14. Someone hit level 14, I don't know, like 30 seconds, 40 seconds before I did, so I'm probably still in top 10. Some time wasted here. I wasn't aware of my gear, what I was doing at the time. More time wasted. I decided to... I don't know what I was doing. I think I was confused on whether on whether I was going to use the vendor formula there or not. Recipe, excuse me. I decided not to use the formula, the recipe there. We'll see when I do use it. I got lucky on a large life. I actually went the wrong way here. There's a bridge a little bit to the left. I think it's faster to go that way than to go down. I had a transmute. I don't need that many because my other scepter is already magicked item. So the next best thing to use a transmute on is your Quicksilver, because what you can do is you can get elemental resistances, which is really strong because most of the time you'll be under the effect of adrenaline, so having additional resistances adds a layer of defense that will help you survive. You can also get charges, extra charges, which allows you, I think that's what I rolled. I didn't quite see, but I think it was charges. So when you roll charges, you can it gives you, instead of it being empty after 2 uses, maybe you can get 3 uses out of it. So you have an opportunity to stay to have movement speed for a longer period of time. I went left to Riverways. What you want to do is you want to tag the waypoint here, because you'll come back for Weavers, After you tag the waypoint, you go back to town, and then you go right to Crossroads. And you head to the Chamber of Sins. The reason I separated those is because I needed wisdom scrolls. There we go, I got another alteration. I needed the wisdom scrolls for a lightning ring. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to roll the recipe for lightning, +1 lightning. I'm wasting a lot of time in town. I should have done that earlier. So that was a huge mistake. You want to minimize the amount of time you spend in town, and you want to be quick about it. So I wasted a good I don't know what that was, like 20 seconds maybe. So that, you know, every bit second cost you. I don't know if this is quite the most efficient way to go. You can follow this path to get to it. I think maybe there's a more efficient way if you cut across. You cut off the angle of this map. But to be honest, I haven't played that many SIGs this league to test it. So right now, Riffs hit 17 and I hit 15. And that's not actually Riffs, that's Thraz, who's doing ridiculous in this race. I think he set a Templar record. He probably more than likely has 2 Quicksilvers, and he's just booking it right now. He's already in Sins 3, and I'm not even in Sins 1, so he's doing really good. His Act 2 progression is way better than mine. I feel like one weakness of mine is Act 2 progression. Act 1 was fairly strong. If you go back and look, I was basically almost toe-to-toe in Act 1, even though he had 2 Quicksilvers. And I watched his video because he uploaded this, and he did have 2 Quicksilvers, so that's how I know. But 2 Quicksilvers helps immensely in Act 2 progression. You have a huge advantage. Here I chose to level up a little bit more. There's an experience penalty on if you're too under-leveled. So you want to be at least minimum 4 levels under. You don't want to be more than 4 levels under when you enter a zone. This zone is level 19, so you actually don't want to enter this zone at, say, for example, 14. If you enter it at 15, I feel that's fine. 16 is really strong. So that's why I actually took the time to clear some of these, to get more experience. Actually ran the wrong way there. I was looking at my lightning resist because I don't have any topaz rings, which is important in this area. A lot of enemies do lightning damage. You'll see that I skip all the boxes here because I don't have any lightning res, and something can curse you like that, and you can take huge amounts of lightning damage. So I felt it was too risky for me to open those boxes, but if I had 2 topaz rings, I probably would have opened that box. Same reason why I didn't open this box. This zone is extremely dangerous to do it without any lightning res. I have 7 right now, which is extremely low. So you have to be really, really careful, and you have to be on your A game to avoid damage or to kill before you take damage. This was a nice pack. I wanted to take the time to kill it because I was kind of underleveled. The goal of this one was to get to Ancient Pyramid and farm Ancient Pyramid. I took a lot of damage there. So I wanted to be around level 20, 21 by the time I hit Ancient Pyramid, so I wouldn't have that big of an experience penalty. I think that zone is 25, 26, something like that. I think I equipped that because I thought there was lightning res on it, but I might have gotten rid of that one. So that's a misplayed. This guy's extremely dangerous when you don't have lightning res, as you'll see when I take a hit. What you want to do is you want to kite him back to this device, because as soon as you kill him, you want to pick up the quest item and log out. So you don't want him to be too far to waste time. Look at those hits. Insane. The reason I log out and log in is to save a TP. Here, Flame Blast, immediately take it and put it into my +1 scepter. That was misplayed. I didn't remember which scepter had the +1 fire on it. Now, because I'm not going to progress past Vol, I'm not going to do the bandits. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go immediately for Weavers and skip the bandits. Normally you would go to Western Forest, but before doing that you would drop a TP in front of the Weavers area, go hit the waypoint in Western, and then when you hit the waypoint, you'd go to town, take the portal, and go to Weavers. But here I skip all that because I don't need to go to I don't need to kill the chick in Western, and I don't need to kill Creighton. Now, one thing to note is that I decided not to progress to Act 3 because I didn't get a second Quicksilver. If I would have gotten a second Quicksilver, I would have progressed, but I didn't get it, so it's a little bit unfortunate, but I would have made the decision. I would have changed my plan to incorporate that factor of having 2 Quicksilvers. Because I know one weakness of mine is progression in Act 2. It's not as strong as some of the top players. That it's pointless for me to attempt progression unless I get that second Quicksilver. Spiders hit really hard here. One thing that some people do is actually equip a chest. I didn't equip one. I just went without it. It was like, whatever. Could have, but I'm already kind of behind. I should have equipped the chest I had in my inventory right now. This isn't that fast of a Weaver kill. Could have been better. she always comes down in the same spot she left from, or around the same area, so you can anticipate that and have a flame blast ready and charged for that event. Again, log out to save TP. I left my cursor there for the flame blast. I had a lot of alt shards, but because I don't need to alt anything anymore. I didn't need to do any recipes. I decided to sell them for scraps, scrolls of ID, because I can use those, and I use those to buy, I think mana it was. So I'm trailing 2 levels behind. Again, Throz is doing like ridiculous. Right here, I'm still fishing for levels. So I'm only 3 levels behind. I'm getting, I don't think there's any experience penalty at 3 levels behind. There's 2 ways to go here. I think I might have taken the longer way. You can go up or you can go down. I've tried both. For some reason, I just chose to go up this time. Those things die really fast, so I thought it was worth killing them, especially since they're blue. One thing you'll notice is that I actually reconfigure the keys. So space bar will hit one of my flasks and B will hit one of my mana flasks. And the reason I did this is because the way my hand lays on the keys allows me to press the buttons without moving. So if I were to just do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, it doesn't sit comfortably with me, so I want to be able to have everything in reach without moving my hand at all, without any shift in fingers. I actually don't use Flame Blast a lot, except for, I decided to finally alch something right there, and it was an amulet. I got cast speed on that amulet, which is good for tendrils. I wanted to see where I was at, so number 8 overall. When things get too shady like that in that instance, what you want to do is you want to kite a little bit, because it's what it makes you do is the reason I went to Dread Thicket here, that's just mind game. So as you can see, it says first character to enter Dread Thicket. Well, when that happens is like if you full clear that area, you get an extra 2 points or something like that. But I didn't actually want to clear it. What I wanted to do was make people think that I was going to clear it, so they'd skip it and no one will get those extra points, because they just assume that if you go in there that you're going to clear it. So that was just a little bit of of me being a dick a little bit, but that's the reason I did that. Yeah, so when you start taking a lot of damage and you get surrounded and it's shady like that, what you want to do is you want to kite because it steps you away from damage. But the other thing it does is it actually funnels enemies towards you, so you're able to do more damage to a larger area of enemies, because when they're packed like this, like for example, if they're like this and you step away, they'll start funneling like this towards you. So you're able to damage more enemies at once when you do when you kite, especially if you're in a lot of danger and you're taking a lot of damage, or any situation that you think is going to be dangerous. You can anticipate that by stepping away. So it's basically knowing the enemy AI and sort of manipulating it to your advantage. So here, I wanted to make sure I was at the right level, so I took some extra time to kill those packs. These are easy, not dangerous at all. The reason I chose to kill those bears is because they were blocking me, and I didn't want to desync into those bears. But normally I would skip 3 bears. Like I would just, like if there's just a pack of 3 bears, I would just, forget about it. Like right there, I just was like, whatever. Bears have a lot of life, so you have to make a decision on whether you want to kill them or not, and how good you are at killing them. I personally don't like killing them because they have more life, and I feel they take up more time. So I try to skip them when I can. So right now this is level 25, a level 25 zone. And I don't remember what level I am. Hopefully 20? At least 20. Maybe 20, maybe I'll hit 20. Yeah, there we go, 20. So I'm 5 levels behind. I'm actually under-leveled. I'm getting an experience penalty. And that affects you a lot. If I would have done normal progression, did Broken Bridge, did Western, then I would have probably not been under-leveled here. I would have been at least 21, maybe 22. Depending on packs, but because I skipped those zones, I missed out on experience, and I'm a little under-leveled. I think that was an AUG. I don't think I got anything good on it. I wanted to reset it to get the movement speed, to refill my flasks. So here, basically what I like doing is, there's one shrine in a long hallway, and I like to take this route, and I like to hit that shrine because there's always a huge pack by the shrine. So it's a good spot for experience. Now, what you can do is, if you don't need that pack or you don't want to run that, it actually might be more efficient to skip this altogether. So if you're already level 22 or 21, skip this and go directly to the next zone. I almost ripped right there. I think I maybe had 10 health. So if I hadn't picked up the defensive passives that go towards cat speed and the dex node, I would have ripped there. So I'm glad I picked those up. That would have been the end of my run. I don't know what rings I'm wearing right now. It might be misplayed, but I should be wearing, so I checked again right now. Number 7 overall. Not too bad. Sound came back on there. That was a weird pack, kind of inefficient in killing that pack. I think it was separated by that box. I have one coral, one cold, one sapphire. I think that might be misplayed. Sapphire's probably terrible to have right now. There's a lot of fire damage, so I probably should have had a ruby ring instead. I wanted to get more experience, so what I did was I ran a circle around this to catch any enemies around that circle. So the reason I ran a circle is because you don't backtrack at all, and so there's an opportunity for you to have enemies when you don't backtrack, a constant stream of enemies. That's a decent blue pack. I'm still fishing for levels here. You don't need to go up that way, you should just go straight down, but the reason I went to that pack is because I need more experience before going into the corrupted zone. So I decided to kill this to get this level before going in. So I hit level 22 right now. I'm in a good experience spot for this area. Only 4 levels behind 26. This zone is 27, so I'm not sitting well for experience in terms of levels, but I decided to do it anyway. Definitely not getting full experience. This level is nice because you're guaranteed a big blue pack at the end, and you also might get strong boxes, which you can roll, or which will have packs of enemies. You can also get lucky and get 3 magic packs. So as you can see there, Throz decided to progress. So he's probably going to farm warehouse or something like that. That dude hit really hard. I wanted to kill more blues here before I left. And I was like, oh, screw it. I didn't play that well enough. I didn't remember who that guy was. This is the first time I used this strategy in the race to farm that area. Again, I didn't have time. I didn't have enough races to experiment with, so I was still trying stuff out here and trying to figure out what the optimal strategy is. Diamond Ring is pretty nice. Rolled some decent fire res, which will help in this area. Also help for critting. If you crit, just boom, throw 1 fire trap and you go. It helps with trail damage. That's also the same reason I went for the passives that I did. I went for some trap passives, which allows you to do trail damage better, not waste as many fire traps, kill more efficiently because you're moving. You're doing damage while moving from the trail fire damage. Now this area, again, you can skip this area. It's probably more efficient too, but for some reason, I just wanted to do that pack. I felt that pack is really strong. Level 23 right now. So I won't have as big of an experience penalty going into the corrupted zone. Since I got all the trap passives, the next thing I'm going for on the tree is cast speed, because cast speed will help with lightning tendrils. And the reason cast speed is really good is because it decreases the amount of time that your character is locked in that animation. So when you cast lightning tendrils, I think there's like 4 ticks to it, like it hits 4 times, and you're locked in place, you can't move. But the higher your cast speed is, the faster those will attack, and the less and the time of you being locked in place is decreased, so you can move faster. So here I decided to run the outer ring again. 2 traps. I know at this point that if I just throw 2 traps and no lightning tendrils, that it'll kill the pack, a normal white pack. So that's why in that instance you saw me throw 2 instead of 1 in lightning tendrils. The reason I went up here is because I saw there was a blue pack or a magic monster, and I thought maybe there was a big pack up there of them, but there wasn't, so I wasted some time. Again, so if you're at optimal level, basically what you want to do is you want to, this is where you come out of, emerge. Basically what you want to do, what I would suggest is just go straight down like this into the corrupted zone and then reset. So I think maybe next run, that's going to happen next run. I was still filling this strategy out. That dude did 60% damage and shocked me. That was an insane amount of damage. One thing you want to keep track of is the reason I'm kind of stuttering like that is because I actually ran out of fire traps, and I'm trying to throw fire traps without having any in my inventory, so nothing happens. So it's kind of misplayed. So this is something that I think about. I just forgot to actually incorporate it during those instances because there's a lot of things going on, a lot of things to keep track of. But you actually want to keep track of how many fire traps that you have and if you're able to throw it. Because if you're not able to throw a fire trap and you go and you try to, you're not going to do anything. So if you know that you don't have any fire traps, instead of running up to it and misclicking, basically you want to run up to them and lightning tendrils first, and lightning tendril anything until your fire traps reset. The reason that I killed that one white enemy by the door is normally you don't want to waste time killing one white, but he was right in front of the door, so I didn't want to open the door and desync or misclick the door because of him, or desync against him and like possibly die to a giant pack. So one thing that I'm thinking about is also is desync situations. You don't want to. You have to be aware of where desync is possible and how to play around that. Now there's two ways to go. You can go up or down. I noticed, and I remember noticing in the race, but I chose to just play up this way. But you could go the bottom way and then up. I'm still running that circle. It proved to be okay here because there's two rares. Got me a lot of experience. But I think it's probably better not to run that circle and just go straight for the door. The straighter your line is from your destination, from where you need to go, the better it is, the faster you can clear, the faster you can reset zones. See here, I completely skipped that going into those nooks. 2 fire traps, I know it'll kill some, and then go. So after my first encounter with this guy, I figured I can throw fire traps at max distance and flame blast off screen to kill most of the blue pack. And then just TP out. I was like, oh look, he's kind of low on life there. I think he had like 30% left, but I don't... That was a extra projectile. And when that totem came out, I was like, no, it's not worth it. It's not worth risking it. So this isn't the most direct route, again, but the reason I'm taking this route is for that giant pack by the shrine. I don't think you need it. Like at a certain point, I kind of realized after the race that at a certain point, it's probably better that you don't actually run this and that you just make a dash for the corrupted zone and reset as fast as you can. Just clear that zone because it's the highest level zone and it's guaranteed blue pack. If I had an opportunity to do the race again, I would have changed my pathing here to incorporate what I've been talking about, and I also would have progressed if I got in the second Quicksilver. The very second race, or third race I did, I actually progressed to Sarn, but I didn't really like it. I tried to farm Sarn, but I felt the layout wasn't that good. And I only did it with 1 Quicksilver, so I didn't think it was worth it. Again, I went after that guy. He's rare. Rares give you a lot of experience. Pathing in this area would be different if I had another run. Here I decided to skip doing the circle. Or maybe I didn't. No, I still did it, huh? Okay. No, I guess I didn't. I was like, oh, I'm gonna just... I think I realized that it was probably not worth doing that circle. So you have to be able to adapt. You have to think about what you're doing and whether it's efficient and how to maximize your efficiency. This was a big enough pack for me to actually kill it. I was like, oh yeah, it's pretty good. The mods on this corrupted zone aren't that dangerous, so you can play it a little bit more aggressive. I didn't manage my Quicksilver as well as I could have. Like sometimes I've wasted my Quicksilvers. Like I'll use my Quicksilver, but then I'll spend a bunch of time just attacking things while the adrenaline is going, but I get no benefit from it because I'm casting. So that's an inefficient use of Quicksilver, I noticed. So that's one thing I can improve on. It's always important if you wanna reach that high level of play to always analyze what you did well on a run. How can you improve what you did bad, what your strengths and what your weaknesses are. So that's one thing I can work on. I noticed my Quicksilver usage. Also, I've noticed that some of these, like the previous pack to this, I didn't actually need to tendril it. I could throw. I'm pretty sure my fire traps right now can kill in one throw. So I'm wasting time tendriling after the fire trap. So my kill efficiency is probably not optimal. Alright, so the race ended. Those 2 rares would have been amazing if I could have killed those with 10 seconds left. I probably, yeah, so I had 2473 and Risk Forever, which I think was CWU, come with us. Yeah, 2476. If I would have killed like both of those, I probably would have gotten 4th overall. But yeah, that's my commentary on racing. If you guys have any questions, you can post them in the comments, or if you have any, if you need any tips or whatever, just shoot me a message and I'll respond to them. But that's kind of some of the strategies used in racing. If you're not familiar with racing at all, it's kind of high level stuff. Some of it is not basic, so if you need explanation, let me know. And then I kind of just use this as an opportunity to kind of make a commentary on what I'm thinking at the time and some of the things that you should be thinking about when you want to improve your game and when you want to play at a higher level. So I hope you guys learned something. Thanks for watching.